In a small, sun-drenched village in India, a young boy named Rohan lived a life painted with the harsh strokes of poverty. His clothes were patched, his meals were meager, and his dreams were his only real possession. But in the eyes of the other villagers, his poverty was a stain, a reason for ridicule. "Look at the dirt on his face," they'd whisper. "He'll never amount to anything." The laughter of other children followed him like a shadow, their taunts echoing in the dusty lanes. One scorching afternoon, after being cruelly denied a share of sweets at a village festival, something inside Rohan snapped. Tears streamed down his face, not of sadness, but of fiery resolve. He looked at the horizon, where the sun was setting on his childhood, and made a silent, unbreakable vow. One day they would see. He would not just escape his circumstances, he would conquer them. With that vow burning in his heart, Rohan scraped together every rupee he could. He worked odd jobs, studied under flickering streetlights, and poured every ounce of his being into a single goal: getting out. The day he boarded a train to the city, his mother pressed a small, worn photo into his hand. It was his only keepsake. His journey eventually took him across oceans to a new land, a place of towering skyscrapers and relentless ambition. The early days were a brutal test. He worked tirelessly, often juggling multiple menial jobs, from washing dishes in a bustling restaurant to cleaning offices late at night. Loneliness was a constant companion, and the taste of failure was often bitter in his mouth. But every time he felt like giving up, he would look at that old photograph and remember the whispers, the laughter, and the promise he made to himself. He enrolled in night school, his mind a sponge, soaking up knowledge about business, logistics, and supply chain management. He saw an opportunity where others saw chaos, the intricate global dance of getting food from the farm to the table. This became his obsession. Years melted into a decade. The boy who was once mocked for his patched clothes now wore tailored suits. Rowan's relentless drive and innovative ideas had not gone unnoticed. He climbed the corporate ladder with breathtaking speed, his name becoming synonymous with efficiency and vision. He didn't just join a major food supply company, he transformed it. And then came the day the board of directors, a group of the most powerful figures in the industry, unanimously voted him in as their new CEO. Rohan had reached the summit. He stood in his sprawling office, gazing out at the city lights that glittered like a sea of diamonds. He had everything he had ever dreamed of and more. But amidst the accolades and the immense success, a quiet corner of his heart remained tethered to the dusty lanes of his village. He had proven them all wrong, but the victory felt strangely hollow. He had built an empire, yet he felt like a king ruling an empty kingdom. The past was a ghost that wealth could not exorcise. Back in his home village, time had not been kind. A catastrophic drought, the worst in a century, had choked the life out of the land. The rivers ran dry, the fields turned to dust, and a devastating famine gripped the community. The very people who had once mocked Rowan's hunger now faced starvation themselves. Panic and desperation filled the air. The village council sent desperate pleas for aid, but their requests were lost in bureaucratic mazes. Their situation seemed utterly hopeless. Then, a young journalist covering the crisis stumbled upon a name while researching potential corporate aid partners: Rohan, the CEO of a global food supply giant, a man with the power to move mountains of food, was from their very own village. The news spread like wildfire. The elders who had once scorned him now spoke his name with a mixture of awe and shame. They were faced with a crushing irony. The boy they had cast out was now their only hope for survival. They had to ask for help from the very person they had so deeply wronged. The question hung heavy in the dry, still air. Would the man he had become save the people who had tried to break the boy he once was? The world watched, waiting for his answer.